Being in the hospital can be a frightening experience for anyone, but especially so for kids. A new book, If You Just Imagine, is here to help that experience be a little less stressful for the kids and for their parents. Cincinnati native Maureen Mello is the author, and her sister Connie is the illustrator. Ladies, thank you both for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
So first, Maureen, let's talk about the idea for the book. Where did the inspiration come from?
You know, it's been on my bucket list for years to write it, and it came from a hospital experience I had with my son, who was in an accident and rushed into the ICU. And so, hooked up to all these equipment in the room with people coming in and out, and just scary for him and for me also. I put it in the back of my mind when things settle down in my life that uh, I could make something of a story more lighthearted for them to understand the equipment, understand what's happening in the room, who's coming in, who might they see, where they might be taken in the hospital. So it's been brewing for years and years, and finally I retired, and I thought if I'm ever going to do it, it's now. So I checked it off my bucket list, and hopefully it's helping a child along the way.
So as you go through the book, you have animals who are talking about the different parts of what goes on in a hospital. You can see one of the illustrations there. So where did the idea come from to use animals to explain the different personnel and the different equipment in the hospital?
Well, when I moved to San Diego, I'm a native of Cincinnati, but about 5 years ago, I moved to San Diego to be close to my son who had relocated here. And not knowing anybody, I thought I need to get a part-time job to meet people and get out there socially. So I took a part-time job at the San Diego Zoo, and I was exposed to wonderful people that were dedicated to the cause of animals. And just became more and more familiar with all kinds of different animals. And then when I sat down to write the book, I thought how intrigued kids are with the animals. And then I thought of my cast of characters that I would be using my family, and it just fit that they have some animal traits, wild, funny animal traits that would fit into converting their personalities into animals, and then the animals into the equipment at the hospital. So kind of snowballed from there.
So that's where your sister, Connie Nies, comes in. And Connie, tell us about your inspiration for the illustrations that we see in the book.
Well, when my sister called me to tell me all this, and to ask me if I would illustrate it for her, I said, Maureen, I've never done that before. I have no idea. So I said no.
She did.
Then I hung up, and then I felt horrible, and then I kept getting calls from all the families saying, Maureen's looking for somebody to illustrate her book. Connie, why don't you call her and tell her, and this is from nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles, and I thought, oh my God, I guess I called her back, and I said, first of all, I said, I didn't know that you had a bucket list, and I'll do it. I said, I'll do my best, but I can't guarantee anything. And as it turned out, it was a challenge just for eyes. My eyes aren't what they used to be in my 30s or anything, And say, why didn't you show me the bucket list then? Anyway, we started. It was a lot of hard work, but we enjoyed, and we killed ourselves laughing mostly, about the book and everything. And it just developed into something that we were passionate about, the two of us.
And we would bounce ideas off of each other as to how I would like the animals to look. And what's funny is I don't have the artistic talent, and she does. So I would have these grander visions of what I'd like the characters to look like. And then I tell her, and she'd just look at me like, are you crazy? You want me to do that? And I said, you can do it. And she did. From the book, you can tell she just brought it to life and did a great job. I couldn't have done it without her.
Oh, well, it's so nice that the project's done and you're still laughing and you're still
Yes,
to each other.
yes.
So that's a good thing.
It was, yeah, that could
It was
yeah.
a great experience for
There
us.
were many times that I said, okay, it's your book. You know, we go to bed, you know, and then in the morning I come down, okay, it's your book.
Yeah.
We'll do it your way,
Uh-huh.
you know, or redo it, you know,
Yeah,
redo it, you know, and, you know, we just would say, I am not changing the hippo again. I refuse.
But I told her when I submitted it, I said, I'm happy with every character. You did great, you know, which she did.
Well, the characters are fascinating. And of course, it opens up with an illustration of Jean
Yes.
Yeah.
and Bailey. And it's really
Yeah.
Bailey's story that we follow, being in the hospital and being ill. And I was fortunate enough to know the real Bailey, the
Yes, you
original
were.
Bailey.
Oh, there you go. I forgot. Yeah.
Who was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But
Thank you. Betsy had a Katie that I loved equally as well. A Beagle Katie. Yeah.
yes, we had two beagles who were very sweet, and
Yes.
Maureen, you were a favorite of Katie's, that's for sure. But just taking a
do
look
love
at, here's another one of the illustrations, and here's, you know, the doctor. Of course, it's maybe no surprise that the doctor is a lion. But then there are female doctors too. I'm glad that you
Yes, there
added
are.
that,
There
Maureen.
are.
So of course, this book came out in the middle of everything being shut down here the last few months. So where have you been able to get the book in so that especially kids can see it? Of course, it's available on Amazon, but you've been able to make some inroads in some facilities to really get it to the kids who are facing that kind of scary hospital visit.
Right, right. We've been very fortunate. We have the book in Dayton, Ohio Children's Hospital. We have a few up at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. We have St. Jude's Children's Hospital in Memphis, some books there, and then Ronald McDonald Houses in Cincinnati and in Florida. And we were fortunate, we just got a call actually right before speaking with you from Lucille Packard Stanford Children's Hospital here in San Francisco, where Connie lives, and we're going to drop off some there. They welcomed the donation to the hospital, so I was real pleased with that. A lot of the hospitals need to review it before they agree to it, you know, because of their way of operating. Not everybody operates the same way. Maybe they use a different term and things like that. So it's taken a little bit longer to get them into the hospital. And with the COVID restrictions, that's been a challenge. But we're making progress, and I'm pleased to say that I know it's in the hands of some of the kids in the hospital. So we'll keep at it.
Because it does make the hospital visit interesting, and it explains so much of the machines and the tubes and everything that you know, even adults, it's a little scary for us as
Yeah.
well, but you know, you're able to explain it. So Connie, you helped Maureen get her bucket list checked off. What's on your bucket list?
One foot in front of the other right now. Don't fall.
Betsy, I told her, I said, you know, this was the hospital. I said, would you like to do a book about a child going to the dentist? And she went, no. And I said, okay, I thought I'd just run that past you. So I don't know if her illustration days are over or not, but I'm going to give her some time.
Well, the illustrations, I mean, it's even the back cover, it's just so bright and colorful, and
I know, we love that part.
and the animals are there to explain the whole trip and what it means to go to the hospital. So I think that it's something that not only the kids can get some benefit out of, but I think the adults can get a benefit out of it too, as they read the story.
Yeah, we hope so. Thank you.
Because, you know, as I say, it can be it can be scary. Like you were talking about when Jean was in the hospital, you know, you're sitting there and you're worried and you see all these machines, and it's got to be stressful for a parent too. So it's, I think, the kind of book that can put both groups at ease.
Thank you.
Well, to tell you the truth, Betsy, unfortunately, I had to have a hospital experience where I had to go into the hospital for to take a kidney. I had a cancer on one kidney. And to do that, I had to go by myself to the hospital with a duffel bag of clothes and go in by myself, you know, just they wouldn't let
COVID.
anybody
Mhm.
into the hospital at all. So it is, I was going and I'm thinking, I was, you know, thinking of the book about how we had written about the signs, you know, and everything up there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like walking through the book.
The book. When she came back out, she said, I lived the book. I lived through it. And I said, great, great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very interesting to say the least.
Well, it's eye-opening for kids and for their parents as well. It's called If You Just Imagine. If you have need for this, if you have a youngster who may be heading for the hospital, you can get it on Amazon, or your hospital also may have it there. Connie, Maureen, thank you both very much. I'm so excited for this book. Best of luck, best of good health, and keep us posted on how the sales are going and what hospitals you're in with that book. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, Betsy, thank you. You take care. Thank you very much.
Talking to you.